Hey everyone, my name is Erik, and today I am really excited to be reviewing the B-17G Flying Fortress. This is by E-flite. This thing comes packed with a lot of cool stuff, including AS3X, which is going to help stabilize the airplane. If you guys do like this one, I included a link in the description below where you can find one. And if you guys want to skip my talking and just go straight to the flight review, you can go to that time code right there and it'll take you straight to the flying. If you guys did find this video helpful, I always appreciate those thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my future reviews. Okay, let's get into this. First, this B-17 is a beautiful and fun plane to fly. Somehow E-flite packed in 4 motors. Actually, all 4 motors do work. 4 servos. These are the high throw servos. You got 2 on the ailerons, and then the other 2 are built in, which will control your elevator and your rudder. You do have the AS3X stabilization system, which I'll get into in just a minute, and they also give you some nice landing gear. They did give you some different options for landing gear. You have these half wheels, which will fit in there too, and then you can also fly with no wheels if you prefer. The wingspan is 26 inches, and it is a 1/48 scale bomber plane. Now, there's no question when I saw this thing, I was definitely going to buy it. I love scale looking miniature planes, and with that AS3X, it just makes it that much easier to fly. Now, the B-17 is one of the most famous World War II bombers. They are known for taking a beating in the skies over Europe and still being able to fly home safely. Binding this plane with the Spektrum Dx6i was quick and easy. If you guys want to watch the binding video, I included a link in the description below. Now, this plane is BNF, or bind and fly, so you will need a transmitter like this one, the Dx6i, or any 4-channel DSM2 or DSMX compatible transmitter. Now, the cheapest one out there is the DX5E, which costs around $60, and I'll include a link in the description below where you can pick one of those up. Everything else is included and assembled. Now, after charging the battery, I had this B-17 up in the air in no time. In smooth, calm air, this thing performs very scale. And while it can easily do loops, it's really meant to be flown scale. The motors are very powerful, but they're small, and the propellers are very tiny and lightweight. So you're not really going to get hurt that bad if they do hit you. Now, this E-flite B-17 has very well thought out cooling ducts all throughout the plane. Each motor has its own inlet and outlet to keep them lasting long by providing plenty of airflow. Now, even the front nose cone has a vent to blow air over the battery and the control board. Keeping this plane cool also helps if you bring multiple batteries, since you don't really have to let it cool down for that long if you want to fly it over and over again. It does come with a little 250 milliamp hour battery. Now, extra batteries are really easy to get and cheap. If you guys do want to pick up some spare batteries, I included a link down below where you can find some Electron 300 milliamp hour batteries, which I recommend for this plane. And your flight times are going to be around 5 to 7 minutes. Now, the AS3X, let's go ahead and get into that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just pop off the nose cone. It is held on by magnets. You got these 2 magnets in here, which is really nice. It's very quick. I'm just going to plug it in here. And there is Velcro on the bottom. Just stick it on right there. Replacing the battery is just really quick and easy. And it just pops right back on. Okay. So, the AS3X. Now, it's not going to kick in until I hit the throttle. But if you guys want to check out the control surfaces, look at that, the throw on those servos on the control surfaces. There's your rudder. Okay, so the AS3X, you're going to hear it kick in. You just put on once you put on the throttle, now, whenever I try to move the plane, you can kind of see the aileron right there trying to correct. Basically, what that's doing is it's trying to counteract any kind of turbulence or bump that's in the air. And all the control surfaces do it, even the rear elevator. Think of the AS3X as an extra pilot, trying to help reduce any bumps in the air. If there's a sudden gust that blows your plane to the left or the right, the AS3X is immediately going to kick in and correct for that. And it helps a ton with lighter weight planes like this one from getting tossed around a lot in slight breezes. This B-17 plane likes to be flown scale. It can easily do flips, but that's about as far as I would go with the aerobatics. I've tried to roll this thing and it just flat out refuses and it just wants to stall. So just keep flying scale and it's going to be a really fun airplane to fly. Turning does require extra power and elevator, especially in tight turns. The elevator has a lot of authority. As you can see, the surface area on it is really big. And that'll help you pull really tight turns if you do need to avoid a tree or some kind of object. And this plane does not handle well at all in the wind. And that's not really surprising considering how lightweight it is. You'll have the most fun with this plane when there's no wind and you have plenty of space to fly nice and scale. If there is any breeze, you will have to fly faster to prevent stalling and to keep it under control. Now, before flying, I always recommend to plan out your flight path and make sure you have enough space to turn without the risk of hitting poles or trees. I always map out in my mind exactly where each potential hazard is so it doesn't surprise me at the last moment. Now, the green camo on this plane looks really nice, but it does blend in very well with trees. So if you are flying around a lot of trees, you might want to keep it flying up a little bit higher so when you do make those turns, it doesn't blend in and you lose orientation. Hand launching this plane is incredibly easy and it just takes a little toss, about 20 to 40 degree angle, and the AS3X will keep it stable as it climbs. Switching out your landing gear is really easy. Basically just wiggle these out and then you can swap them out with these little half gears or these half wheels right here. Now, I recommend leaving the foam wheels on while flying because they do a really good job at protecting the blades from bending back when you land. Even if you're landing in really soft grass, after a while these blades will get bent back and you'll have to bend them back and they just start wobbling and vibrating. So you really want to take good care of the blades because they are kind of expensive to replace. Surprisingly, they do cost around 18 bucks to swap out all 4 of them. So just take good care of them. The box it comes in is perfect for storing and transporting your plane, so don't throw this box away. The only problem is that they didn't have cutouts for the wheels, so you will have to take out the wheels every time you put it back in the box. Okay, so now let's get into the flight review. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Just leave them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to get back to everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Easy. The wind is just going wild with it. Uh-oh. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Yuck.